Hello everyone, this is Jordan. Welcome back to the Daily Gold YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video, which is being recorded on the very late evening of Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Some of you will be viewing this, or all of you, I should say, will be viewing this on Thursday morning. Now, I want to talk about silver. We closed July with the second highest quarterly close ever in silver. That is really significant. And silver has broken above that resistance at $34 to $35. And now it is en route to $41 or $42 if it can break above $37. So here and now, there's some interesting charts, and I want to take a look at these and go through these with you so we can assess what is the potential for silver, both in the short term, but also over the next year or two. I think there's potential for this to get really, really exciting. Finally, we know that silver doesn't always move. In fact, most of the time it really doesn't move. But when it does move, it can be vicious and it can be really, really spectacular. Let's get to the video. So this chart covers silver's history going back 170 years. This is monthly data here. The history here, I should say, this is quarterly data. So we had the spike during the Civil War. This right here was a modern breakout to a new all-time high. This was 1967-68, and there was a mania in junior silver stocks at the time. Few people know about it. So that's what happened then. But after the 68 to 70, 71 cyclical bear market, of course, we went to paper money for the first time ever. And gold made the biggest breakout of all time, and silver here was similarly almost the biggest breakout of all time. So this, in 1973, surpassed the Civil War high here, which was about $3, as we can see here. So this breakout was 1973. And when you break out to a new all-time high from a really long base, or the first time in a long time, that market has room to really move. And we can see what happened. Just a spectacular move. And so here we have this super bullish base going back 46 years now, $50. And folks, this is just setting up for the second biggest breakout of all time. And in the last 50 years, or 52 years, 53 years, the biggest breakout in 52 or 53 years. So that's really significant. Just look at silver's history. This is 170 years, and you can get a sense of how significant this impending or eventual breakout is going to be. This is going to be really spectacular. Now, that will also entail big moves down. So we're going to get huge, sharp moves in both directions. Because let's go back and look at the history. This is what you had. After this move here, you had this right here. Now, this was actually kind of a mild cyclical bear here. It went sideways for 2 or 3 years. So that was mild. And then, of course, you had a massive crash here. So at some point, after we get this big breakout move like that, we're probably going to get a sharp move lower like that. So you got to keep that in perspective. So that is the 30,000-foot view of silver. Now, let's delve into something else, and that is silver against foreign currencies. Now, I did so many videos on gold against foreign currencies back when this channel was so much smaller, 2015, 2016. Just every year, I did a couple videos about gold against foreign currencies. The key leading indicators for gold, or the gold price, I should say, are usually gold against the stock market and gold against foreign currencies. So how do we measure foreign currencies? This is the inverse of the dollar. So we're looking at silver divided by the inverse of the dollar, which another way of looking at that is silver multiplied by the dollar index. So we're removing dollar weakness from the equation. So in real terms against other currencies, how is silver performing? And we can see here that this is the all-time high. This is monthly data, by the way. This is the all-time high here, the all-time high resistance. This is where we are here and now. So what is likely to happen is we're going to see silver against foreign currencies likely break out and make a new all-time high before silver does in US dollar terms before it breaks $50 an ounce. So this is a leading indicator. We'll keep an eye on this because as a leading indicator, this thing will probably precede the strength of silver in US dollars. Moving on, let's get to my favorite analog chart for silver. And this is silver's performance at the beginning, I should say, and after a gold breakout to a new all-time high. So aside from where we are right now, which applies, and that's in black, there are 3 other points in history when this happened. We're talking about sustained moves. You have 1972, 1972, 1978, and then 2009. So I took those 3 periods, or those 3 instances, and made an average, which is right here. Now, the lower average, this removes the blow-off top. So this only looks at 1972 and 2009. And so you can get a sense of what silver is following. Which line is it tracking most closely? And this is 1972, here in light blue. And this is where we are here and now, since the end of February last year. So this is tracking, not perfectly, but somewhat closely. This is the best historical fit compared to all the other options. And so what happens? Look at what happens. It happened in 1972 on the current scale. You had a move up to 49, and then you had this is a super bullish cup and handle. And then it moved like that. Now, do I think silver is going to go to 49 by the end of September? That's what, 2.5 months? Probably a little bit too much to ask. But who knows? This 49 here, it didn't, based on 1972, it did not break above 50 until really February. So that's about 9 months from now. And what I like about this 1972 chart here, it stopped short of 50, the major resistance. Then it came back here. This is 42. So 41 and 42 is a natural resistance area. So if silver moves up to 50, it can definitely pull back to 41 or 42 before turning up again. So I just love how 1972 plays out on the current scale. So this is my favorite analog chart for silver right now. And of course, got to look at silver against a 60-40 portfolio. You guys know that in past videos, I was talking about gold against the 60-40 portfolio, how important that was. We finally got the big breakout out of a 10-year base, gold against the 60-40 portfolio, in March of this year. And what happened? We had a heck of a move in precious metals. We have had a heck of a move since then, because that breakout indicates that conventional capital is moving out of conventional investment stocks and bonds and into gold. Now, we can look at the same thing for silver. This is silver against the 60-40. Look at the move here in that secular bull market. This aligns with this secular bull market here. And here we are. Here's the $50 resistance. And this is where we are right here. This is a massive historical double bottom, silver against the 60-40, that it's making. And it's been grinding higher. It's steadily moving higher. It's really close to a 4.5 year high right now. But what this really needs to do is push higher. Maybe it's another, 15% or so. This is monthly data, by the way. So another 15% up. It can test. This is not a perfect horizontal line, but you have 2016 here, that pop, the COVID peak right here. So you have this resistance right here, a move up here. That probably aligns with silver, I think, getting to 41 or 42, maybe silver going to 50. So a move up here, that sets up a really bullish 11-year base. Then eventually, when this thing breaks out, that's massive. You get the breakout move like this. That sets up this thing going through 50, like that. So that's why this is so important, because this is telling us, is capital moving into silver? Or this is telling us that capital is slowly starting to move into silver versus conventional investments. But again, when this thing breaks out like that, that sets the stage for this baby breaking above 50 bucks. All right, so moving on, got one more chart. This is a short-term chart, and this is the silver daily bar chart. So this is where we are here and now. This is a rough breakout from an ascending triangle here. And this breakout projects to about $41. Now you could also put a line here, and that projects to above $40, but not quite 41. So depending on how you look at this breakout here, it projects to 41, one of two ways. And then you have this here, which this is a potential bull flag. Now, if this breaks out like that, there's some education for you guys. A bull flag tends to break out sooner rather than later. So this is, if this is a bull flag, you're going to see a breakout really soon in a move like that. But if it's not a bull flag, this can still consolidate like that and then break out, and it would just be a bullish consolidation. So either way, this is a bullish setup. As long as silver holds above this support right here, then you have a very bullish pattern either way. And by the way, this pattern, it also projects to 41. So that's where we are. I think another close above 37, that signals that silver will be on its way to 41 and possibly 42. If you look at the weekly and monthly charts, 41, 42, that's where the next resistance is. That's where the next stop is. And on the downside, this is where the support is. You have support at 35 intraday. Maybe it goes a little bit lower, but I really like how this is setting up. It's bullish consolidation, whether it's a flag or pennant or whatever. Bullish consolidation. So no biggie if it consolidates for another month or so. No problem. That'll just give it more fuel to be able to get to 41 to 42. And after that, it's going to have a chance to get to 50 bucks following that. That's where we are for silver in the short to medium term. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment if you're interested in silver stocks and would like to know my top 5 silver stocks right now. Make sure you subscribe to the Daily Gold Premium. Would love to have you. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys again on Friday with the Friday weekly market wrap up. Enjoy the rest of your week.